Okay. Yeah, we're discussing the history of African American hair. So the various hairstyles that they were a way to identify their social status, their ethnicity, their social rank, the age, marital status, wealth, fertility, manhood, religion, even their death. And messy or disheveled hair, that's not messy or disheveled hair. But that was thought to be associated with mourning, like grieving, or madness. That's more of their creative styles. There's more of, they're very intricate because that was their culture, the way they wore their hair. So they styled their hair with mud, clay, and animal fats to get those different styles that would stay upwards. And in 1444, slaves were taken from Africa, and their slave owners commonly referred to their thick hair as wool, a derogatory term. And keep going. Although they were very impressed with their hairstyles, they shaved their heads as a way to depersonalize them and take away their identity and their culture. And after years of what can really only be considered as brainwashing, they were taught that what they should have is thinner features, straight hair, and white skin. And this, black skin and dark hair and whiter features, was considered ugly to them. That was what they were taught. And in the 1700s, free black women would wear their hair in enamoring hairstyles that reflected their culture because they wanted to bring it back. And that drew a lot of attention from white men and jealousy from white women. So go ahead. So Tion laws were put into place. Now Tion, in 1786, that is a headdress that's used to, like fabric that's used to cover hair. And they made black women wear that whenever they went out in public. But in response, keep going, they wrapped in intricate styles and used different colors, stuff like it. And they wore jewels on it, and people were pretty shook about it. They're like, that wasn't what they wanted them to do, but you know how it is. But in the 1800s, enslaved Africans, in order to do their hair after it grew back, they used bacon grease, butter, kerosene, and sheep brushes to do their hair, and turn it into basically that, just to manage it. But due to their unique physique, hair, and dark skin, they were actually put into human zoos where people looked at them. Look again. They took photographs of them, and as you can see, that's very depersonalizing. They're actually in water while all of these people are sitting around watching them, basically. Go ahead. In 1845, metal hot combs were invented by the French and made available to America. So black women used those to straighten their hair. And it's commonly thought that Madam C.J. Walker invented it, but she actually did not. But in 1865, slavery was abolished, but after it was abolished, they didn't have those same things that everybody else had. So go ahead. So in order to get different jobs, into churches and schools and social groups, they had to have good hair, which was very similar to a white woman's hair, like finer and straighter. But in 1905, Madam C.J. Walker, she invented a broad range of hair care products so that black women could be able to manage their hair better. Such as the scalp ointment, stuff that'll help them straighten their hair, soften it, and the press and curl became popular. A press and curl is a silk press, basically. Do you all know what a silk press is?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, well, a silk press, you have your natural hair, silk press, and then it's curl. So that is the press and curl. In 1920, Marcus Garvey was a black nationalist who encouraged black women to embrace their black hair, using the statement, "Move the kinks from your mind, not your hair." Go ahead. In 1930, Haile Selassie was crowned the Emperor of Ethiopia, and his name was actually originally Rastafari Makonnen, but he goes by Haile Selassie. And in 1936, he was exiled for resisting the Italian invasion, which we learned about when Italy invaded Ethiopia. And so the guerrilla warriors, they said that until he came back, they would not cut their hair. So go ahead. So their hair grew into very long locks like this. Go ahead. So there aren't any pictures from that time, but that's what it would have looked like. So those people, the warriors with their hair like that, they were feared or dreaded, which is where the term dreadlocks actually came from. Go ahead. In 1954, George E. Johnson launched a male hair straightener for men to use at home, and go ahead. And another one for women, also known today as relaxer, was brought to. In 1962, Cicely Tyson wore cornrows on a popular TV show called East Side, West Side. So braids back then for an adult woman were not considered a finished style. So when they wore them out the house, they were thought to be like crazy. Like, why'd you walk out the house like that? Go ahead. In the 1960s, Angela Davis became a symbol of Black power and Black excellence when she wore her big afro proudly. And the term Black is beautiful was actually coined back then. Go ahead. 1968, Diane Carroll, she has her hair like that, as you can see. She was the first Black woman to star on this TV show called Julia, and she was considered the all-American Black woman rather than the all-American white woman. And dreadlocks were brought back into pop culture by Bob Marley, who donned them proudly. Go ahead. That's not right. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna skip that. But in 1971, Melba Tolliver was actually fired from ABC TV because she wore an afro while she was covering one of the stories. And they found that inappropriate and they fired her, which caused a major uproar. In 1977, the Jerry curls became popular. And I don't know if all y'all know, that's Ice Cube. In 1990, Essence Magazine made an issue saying, "Sisters love weave." Now, there is a difference between weave and extensions, although they're called the same thing. Extensions are more braided in or twisted into your hair, like mine, I have extensions. While weave, your real hair is cornrowed and then it is sewn in with a needle thread. In the 2000s, well, near 2000s, women were still chemically processing their hair, and the high top fade became a popular type of hairstyle for men. That is good. In the 2000s, the low fade of the Caesar cut was the standard for most men, and they also, go ahead, experimented with braids. No, don't put it. Okay, go ahead. Now, according to 2006 statistics, Black women consume 80% of the hair industry, but only own 3%. Now, when you think about it, when you go to a beauty supply store, who owns the beauty supply store? Chinese. Yes. And they actually do not like to sell to Black women. So that is one of the reasons why. I got it. Okay. So in 2009, that is when a surge of women wearing their natural hair kind of came to be, and they wore their hair curly, and that was called the natural hair movement. Go ahead. There was a lot of people wearing their natural hair, and that was a new type of movement. If I remember correctly, I actually went natural in 2009. That is me, February 10th, 2016. I had a lot of hair, but I could not manage it. Because when I was younger, my mother relaxed my hair because she could not handle it. My hair was too thick. I have really thick 4C hair. So she relaxed it. And although it was like down my back, it was unhealthy and very brittle. So when I was around the 4th grade, I was like, you know what, mommy, I'm gonna go natural. And my transitioning phase was tragic. So don't go looking for photos. I know there's pictures out there. And that is 2016. I did that while my mom was stretching it so I could get a trim. Go ahead. And then around 8th grade, I was doing my hair, I was trying to slick it back, and I just looked in the mirror and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I relaxed all my hair. And I was only relaxed for about 7 months because it got so bad. My hair was like right here when I first relaxed it, and when I stopped relaxing it, it was up here because it was all breaking off. And as you all know, I chopped all my hair off in October. So my choice to go natural and to embrace my roots is one of the best decisions I ever made. Now, there's no type of judgment if you have your hair relaxed, if you like to wear it in weaves, extensions, or have your hair natural, because Black hair is Black hair. Black hair is beautiful. And that is all that's really important. That's all that matters. Thank you.